War crimes and peace talks. Israel offers Syria a 3-zone security deal. Buffer extended, no-fly zone imposed, and Mount Hermon held forever. Damascus, backed by Washington and Jordan, signals retreat of heavy weapons. But Human Rights Watch accuses Israel of home demolitions, forced transfers, and war crimes. As Russia warns of a full-fledged war, fragile diplomacy, and brutal realities collide on the Golan frontier. Israel has reportedly presented Syria with a proposal for a new security arrangement. Sources familiar with the matter told Axios that the plan outlines 3 zones stretching from Damascus to the Israeli border, modelled in part on the 1979 peace agreement with Egypt. Under the proposal, Israel would extend the existing buffer zone by 2 kilometres on the Syrian side and establish a no-fly zone for Syrian aircraft across the entire area. In return, Israel would gradually withdraw its forces from most positions inside Syria, while maintaining a permanent presence on Mount Hermon. Officials involved confirmed that Israel intends to remain there under any future agreement. Talks on the proposal are expected to continue in London this week, with Strategic Affairs Minister Ron Dermer, US Envoy Tom Barrack, and Syrian Foreign Minister Assad al-Shaibani taking part. This marks the 3rd round of negotiations, with progress reported but no immediate breakthrough. A provision of the proposal also preserves an aerial corridor through Syria for potential Israeli strikes on Iran. Despite ongoing talks with the HTS, Israeli forces launched a ground incursion in Syria's Quneitra province, advancing into strategic towns near the Golan Heights. The Al Mayadeen television channel reported that Israeli military vehicles advanced into Jubata al-Khashab and Ophania towns, both close to the Israeli-occupied portion of the strategic Golan Heights, early on September 17th. Israeli troops conducted searches and deployed on some rooftops as the regime's drones flew at low altitude overhead. An Israeli army convoy, consisting of 10 military vehicles, also advanced into the outskirts of the village of Ain Ziwan, while reconnaissance aircraft flew over the area. Meanwhile, Human Rights Watch has accused Israel of forcibly displacing Syrians in the south, where its military has expanded control since late 2024. The NGO documented home demolitions, restrictions on farmland, and the transfer of detainees across the border. It described the measures as part of a broader strategy to entrench Israeli positions and characterized them as violations of international law. Accusing the IDF of war crimes, the NGO said in a statement regarding Israeli actions it documented in the buffer zone village of Al-Hamadiyah.
Rather than responding to an immediate threat, Israeli forces appear to have cleared and destroyed homes as part of a broader strategy to entrench their military presence.
The report says the IDF defended its actions as complying with international law, claiming that the demolitions are an operational necessity. The report also accuses Israel of arresting Syrians and transferring them across the border, actions that the report says the IDF admitted to, while defending the moves as intelligence-based and subject to judicial oversight. Syria announced on September 16th that it is working with the United States to reach what officials described as mutual security understandings with Israel, part of a broader roadmap to stabilise the country's south. The effort, backed by Washington and Jordan, follows months of sectarian clashes that escalated into Israeli airstrikes and intervention. A Syrian military official told AFP that government forces have withdrawn heavy weapons from southern Syria. The official, who spoke on condition of anonymity, said the process began 2 months ago and extends to areas roughly 10 kilometres outside Damascus. A diplomatic source confirmed that the withdrawals are designed to support the new plan and reduce tensions along the frontier. The Syrian Foreign Ministry said Washington, in consultation with Damascus, would work to address the legitimate security concerns of both Syria and Israel. The ministry framed the initiative as part of a gradual demilitarization of the south, aimed at restoring calm in regions destabilized by communal violence.
In consultation with the Syrian government, we'll work to reach security understandings with Israel concerning southern Syria that address the legitimate security concerns of both Syria and Israel.
The recent bloodshed in Sweida province, home to Syria's Druze community, began in July with clashes between Druze fighters and Sunni Bedouin groups. The violence quickly drew in government forces and other tribal militias, leaving more than 2,000 people dead. Israel, citing concerns for its own Druze population and security along the Golan Heights, struck government positions and demanded the removal of Syrian heavy weapons from the area. Talks between Syria and Israel have been ongoing since the fall of Bashar al-Assad last December. Officials from both sides are expected to meet again this week in Azerbaijan's capital, Baku. Syrian Foreign Minister Assad al-Shaibani has called the new plan a step toward reconciliation, with Jordan and the United States pledging to oversee its implementation. Turkey has welcomed a new roadmap agreed by Syria, Jordan, and the United States to address the crisis in Sweida province. In a statement released on September 17th, the Turkish Foreign Ministry said it supports the plan as a step toward preserving calm, ensuring stability, and preventing renewed conflict. The ministry emphasized that Ankara will continue backing initiatives that uphold Syria's territorial integrity, unity, and sovereignty.
We welcome the roadmap announced with the aim of preserving calm, ensuring stability, and preventing renewed conflict in Sweida.
The 7-step roadmap was announced in Damascus on September 16th by Syrian Foreign Minister Assad al-Shaibani, following talks with Jordanian Foreign Minister Ayman Safadi and US Envoy Tom Barrack. The plan includes measures to guarantee humanitarian and medical access, restore essential services, and deploy local security forces to safeguard transportation routes. It also outlines compensation for those affected by the recent violence, the return of displaced residents, clarification of the fate of the missing, and a reconciliation process involving all communities in Sweida. The initiative follows earlier rounds of negotiations in Amman that sought to consolidate a fragile ceasefire in the province after clashes erupted in July between Druze groups and Bedouin tribes. Israeli military strikes during the unrest further complicated the situation, prompting regional actors to pursue a political solution. Meanwhile, Russian Security Council Secretary Sergei Shoigu, speaking in Baghdad, warned that the Iranian-Israeli confrontation has reached a dangerous level and could push the Middle East toward a wider conflict. He added that rising tensions in Syria, Lebanon, and Yemen remain a source of concern, while stressing that halting the bloodshed in Gaza must be the immediate priority.
The situation in the Middle East is extremely difficult. The Iranian-Israeli confrontation, which threatens the region with a new full-fledged war, has seriously escalated. The escalation of tensions in Syria, Lebanon, and Yemen is also alarming. But first of all, the unprecedented bloodshed in the Gaza Strip needs to be stopped.
While the roadmap signals cautious progress towards stability in southern Syria, warnings from Moscow highlight how regional rivalries from Gaza to Lebanon continue to threaten wider conflict across the Middle East.